Well, hello. I'm the Nerve Nerd. Some stuff happened over on the video game side of things tonight, but the more exciting thing that happened was we had a bleeding tornado drop down in our town tonight. Um, at least that's what the reports say. It got real scary. They actually called our phones. It was a computer calling the phone, but we got the alerts. Everybody's getting the alerts, and then they actually called and said, "Hey, this is real. Duck and cover. Get in the shelter. Don't be outside. Don't mess around." Um, and the sirens were going off like crazy. At the end of it all, you could hear the emergency vehicles going across town. So there's definitely some stuff. So tomorrow morning, I'll probably, when I head into work, I'll probably see some of the wreckage. I may take a different route, just so that I can see, because apparently it was over by not the way that I usually go. Apparently, where the tornado touched down was a, another way that I can go, but I don't usually go that way. So this is actually the third time I've tried to do a video. I was having some issues with my Google Drive storage. I have to do this thing with my phone. There's got to be a smarter way to do it, but I have to record the videos on the phone, and then I have to upload them to my drive, and then I have to back them up on my computer, and then from my computer is where I post them. But my drive has gotten really full because it's also archiving my entire life, like any pictures I take, any other videos I do, anything else goes onto my Google Drive, and the space was getting filled up. But it turns out I also had about 7,000 emails because I'm really bad about not clearing out junk emails. So I had to go through this weekend, and this is so exciting, I know. I had to go through and get rid of all that crap and get rid of a bunch of useless videos of like silly things. Um, like, cooking some boring food. Um, got rid of that stuff and made plenty of space. So now we'll see if this actually works. It's going to be really kind of a hassle if it doesn't. I mean, I'll just pony up the bucks and get the extension on my space on Google Drive if I have to, because I mean, I have to record the music stuff. Um, the other thing I need to do is I just need to get some good actual recording equipment. Because yeah, like I'm seriously going to be doing this. Like it's going to be a continual thing. So, um, now's not the time for me to go out and buy all that stuff though, because now is the time that I got to sell my house and do all this other stuff. It's kind of crazy that I'm doing this even now as we speak with the demands of my time that there are right now. But I am realizing that this whole process for me is super important for me having a good time and just getting through the difficulty that is my life right now. So um, it's a me thing. At the end of the day, why we do anything should be, should absolutely be because you want it, because you need it, because you want this thing that makes you happy to be a thing that you do. And there's some pretty heady stuff that's going on in my head too with all this, because there is the me part of it, but I am thinking about certain things like related to my kids too, where it's like, how can I tell my kids that I believe in this certain set of things if I don't actually live my life in that way? And how can I tell them they should if I don't actually live my life in that way? Kind of a big thing, huh? Um, there'll probably be more on that later. But yeah, like that's what this is all about for me. Recording this stuff, talking into the camera. It's this accountability record for myself. This accountability record for my kids. Um, whoever I'm going to meet in the future, um, who I am now, who I hope to be later. Um, and not so much who I was, because I've been a lot of different things. Um, I've had about 3 or 4 distinct lives within my life. Very different versions of myself, too, were at the forefront. Makes things get very confusing sometimes when I'm running things through the old memory machine. It also makes things really hard to tell people, like, story wise, because I don't know, especially as I get older, things don't necessarily come out in order. Um, and also the meaning changes too when you change the order around a little bit in a really weird way. Um, you get a lot of false causation and stuff. So what happened in real life this week? Um, Early in the week, I did tour an apartment down in the area of town that I want to be living in. It's near where I work, probably about 10-15 minute drive. It's a little further from where my kids live, but not by that much. Where they are right now is a miraculous place that's about 30 minutes from anywhere I could possibly go, other than within their same municipality, which wouldn't make sense because it's too far from where I work. And also, it's not really any cheaper. Like, if it was cheaper to live there, oh man, I'd be there in a heartbeat. And there are some weird ways in which it could be cheaper, like if I find the right batch of college students. But the problem I've got is I have to figure out some way to make a place that's safe for 2 kids to be in and visit regularly, but also is a great sort of staging ground for me to do whatever I want to do. So it gets really weird really quick if I start thinking about, well, oh no, I'm going to need to have roommates. And then there's all sorts of weird other things that, like, the needs that I have to have from roommates. They can't have dogs, they can't be smokers. Um, I personally don't think it would be a good idea for me to be around anybody that does, like, massive amounts of recreational drug use, um, because it'd be too easy to get sucked into that. Well, myself, I mean, traditionally I don't have much of a problem with that, but you know, don't want to find out, don't want to find out all of a sudden that I'm a big old meth head. Um, I doubt it so much, but it's just one of those things where if you're around that type of thing, well, it generates a lot of possibilities. And I have not in my life previously been, so it has not occurred. But yeah, so I went and looked at an apartment, and it was fantastic. It was perfect. It was this apartment building that was built kind of like in a little quad, super quiet, super nice. We were walking through the place, couldn't even tell that people lived there. It was so quiet. Um, had a little central pool area, a little central walkway area with benches and stuff. Great places to be outside, play guitar. All the apartments have balconies and porches and things. So it'd be real lovely. Um, get into this place. It's perfect. It's got a nice open kitchen. One of the things that's one of my criticisms for any living space is when the kitchen is kind of like a little tunnel. I like to think of it. The word I use to describe it is like it's the kitchen dungeon. You get banished to the dungeon to make food for your guests. Um, and then at the end of that hallway there might be a laundry room. Which I think it's always weird that the laundry room's connected to the kitchen. You're gonna bring your laundry to the place where you make your food? That's just so bizarre. But that's how most of these places are designed. I think pretty much all the places have designed the laundry room. Like, I can see how it should be connected to the kitchen, but I don't get the idea of it being like within the kitchen where you must go through it to get there. Um, Whatever. But anyway, open kitchen, fantastic living room. Would be great. Then the bedroom, real tiny. My bed would not fit in this bedroom. And that's just a reality here. that I hadn't quite considered yet about all the places that I've looked. There's not a single place I've looked at so far that my bed will fit in. So my nice big bed that fits all of me and the girls comfortably, it's not coming with me. I have to go back to the smaller one, which will be fine for me and whatever partner I have at some point during 5 days a week. But it does basically mean that when the girls stay over, I'm most certainly going to be sleeping in the couch. Which, I mean, that's a thing that would probably happen anyway. The only reason we were still sleeping in the same room at this stage was because everybody, including myself, had been really kind of like, I don't know, just really kind of scared of being completely by themselves. Um, and this whole being apart thing was hard on all of us, especially because we're such a close family. Like we we do everything together for the most part. So yeah, so back to this apartment. Bigger than the bigger on paper, 200 square feet bigger on paper than what the ones I've been looking at. And we get to talking about price, and $1,600. That's what the person said. A little under that, but close enough. I can't do that. I can't afford that. I'd probably get rejected when I apply. I don't even know if I make enough money for $1,600 a month. Not by myself anyway. So it's just perfect place. Perfect place. Right out the window. So that one's knocked out. The other ones that I'm considering are all within the same area. The great thing about them is that they are very close to a running trail that I really like. Very beautiful areas, very green areas, very nice areas, like in terms of if you go walking around in those areas, you wouldn't feel scared. You wouldn't feel any sense of danger. They're real close to a bunch of restaurants that I used to go to quite a bit, actually. So, like, I know the area really well. There's a Kroger, like, a block away from most of them that I used to occasionally shop at. So it's all going to be okay in terms of location. It's just we're talking about a huge reduction in size, and I was already looking at the stuff that I have going, oh, we're going to have to get rid of stuff, but like I'm really going to have to go, no, only the things that must come with me. So it's really tough because my girls have so much stuff, and I mean I had to tell Kira this weekend, no, these old building blocks that you have that I know they have tremendous sentimental value. You love playing with them. You do really fun stuff with them. They're gonna have to go now. I'm gonna keep as many of their Legos that I can. I'm gonna keep some of their other building like stuff. I'm pretty sure she started playing with her old kitchen stuff today. One of their favorite things to do when they were little was to pretend like they were making me like lunch or making anybody, not just me, making somebody lunch, and then they would feed them all this fake food. Um, and they like to play restaurant basically. Um, and she brought that stuff back out, and it's funny because she is about to be aged out of that sort of thing. Like that type of play I think won't be on her imaginary playlist much longer. But because I think because I threw away that other stuff, she kind of got a little sentimental, and like she wanted to go back and do some things from when she was a kid. Because she asked me about, we used to have actually like an actual indoor kitchen area type thing, but we got rid of that a long time ago because it took up a lot of space. I believe we still had it when we first moved in here, but they kept one of them at the grandparents' house. But she was asking if we had that, and I was like, no, that's at your grandparents' house. And the other one we got rid of a long time ago. But she knew where the food was, all the fake food, and so she grabbed that and was playing with it. I'm probably gonna have to get rid of that stuff too. Um, I don't know, but yeah. So there's so much stuff still here that is just not gonna be able to come with me. I mean, I've got their dressers. I'm not going to be able to bring both of them. More than likely, what I'm going to have to do is I have a big enough dresser that I can fit my clothes and somebody else's clothes in them, I think. Uh, and I'll have to bring one of their dressers, and that's all that's gonna fit. I don't even think I can bring two bookshelves. I think I'm gonna be able to bring one of my bookshelves, and I'm gonna have to really pare down on books. I'm keeping my CDs because I freaking love music, but I don't even have a way to play CDs. I mean, I guess my DVD player will play CDs. But who? I mean, when am I ever gonna just pop in one? Why do you have CDs anymore? Like everything's played digitally. But I don't actually own any of that music digitally. How does that exactly work? Oh well, we'll figure it out. But yeah, this video's gone on for quite some time. I've got it narrowed down. I know where I'm gonna live. Now the mission is clearing space, clearing stuff, boxing things. I've already started boxing books and CDs and things up. And I got some more furniture to disassemble. I have so much stuff. Like I think I'm gonna actually have to order like a big old one of those big old trash bins and just put all the shit furniture into that because I got a bunch that is just not gonna be able to come with me. It's too heavy, it's too bulky, and it takes up too much room. It's just not gonna work. I don't even know what I'm gonna do for a desk in my new place. I'm probably gonna have to go IKEA and get something. Um, well, don't mean to be a downer. Things are actually looking real good, and this weekend was just fantastic. Great weekend with the girls. Everything about my time with them has been amazing. And I didn't die from the tornado. So, be back with some more music. I know what the next song's going to be. So, take care.